Life in the most eccentric and isolated country in Africa. Madagascar, often referred to as the eighth continent, is a land of extraordinary contrasts. From its diverse and endemic wildlife to its rich cultural heritage, it offers a window into a world like no other. Located in the Indian Ocean, off the southeastern coast of Africa, Madagascar is an island that has been isolated for millions of years. This isolation has given rise to a fascinating array of unique flora and fauna, a dynamic cultural mix, and a history that is as complex as it is captivating. Before we begin, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss an exciting video like this. Welcome back. The island of Madagascar, which covers over 587,589 square kilometers, was once part of the supercontinent Gondwana, alongside Africa, India, and Antarctica. Around 160 million years ago, Madagascar separated from Africa and drifted into the Indian Ocean. This geographical separation allowed the island's plant and animal life to evolve independently. As a result, Madagascar has become home to a highly unique biodiversity. Nearly 90% of its species are found nowhere else in the world. One of the most famous aspects of Madagascar's ecosystem is its lemur population. Lemurs are primitive primates that evolved in isolation on the island. There are currently over 100 species of lemurs, ranging from the tiny mouse lemur, which is the smallest primate in the world, to the large indri, known for its haunting, whale-like calls that can be heard echoing through the forests. These creatures, which rely heavily on Madagascar's forests for food and shelter, are among the most iconic symbols of the island's unique wildlife. But lemurs are not the only endemic species found in Madagascar. The island is also home to chameleons, the world's largest species of chameleon being the Parsons chameleon, and several species of frogs, birds, and reptiles that exist nowhere else on Earth. Madagascar's forests, ranging from rainforests to dry deciduous forests, provide shelter to these species, each of which has adapted to the unique conditions of the island's environment. The most striking feature of Madagascar's landscapes is its baobab trees. These massive, unique trees have a distinctly alien appearance, with thick, swollen trunks that store water, enabling them to survive long periods of drought. The Avenue of the Baobabs, where rows of these iconic trees line a dirt road, is one of Madagascar's most photogenic spots, often captured in dramatic sunsets. Some of these trees are over 1,000 years old, and their presence underscores the resilience of Madagascar's natural world. The human history of Madagascar is just as intriguing as its natural history. The first humans to arrive on the island likely came from Southeast Asia, specifically present-day Indonesia, Malaysia, and the Philippines. This migration occurred around 2,000 years ago, and the settlers brought with them their language and agricultural practices. Over time, African Bantu groups and Arabs from the Middle East also migrated to the island, creating a multicultural society that is reflected in both language and culture today. The Malagasy language is a key component of the island's identity. While Madagascar was a French colony for much of the 20th century, the Malagasy people have retained their language, which is part of the Austronesian language family. Malagasy is spoken by nearly everyone on the island, and it serves as a unifying force among the diverse ethnic groups that inhabit the island. Despite French being an official language, Malagasy is a central part of the national consciousness and remains the primary language for day-to-day communication. Madagascar's culture is a rich tapestry of influences, with a blend of African, Asian, and Middle Eastern traditions. The island's various ethnic groups, such as the Merina, Betsimisaraka, and Betsileo, each contribute their own customs, religious practices, and social structures. One of the most striking aspects of Malagasy culture is its deep respect for ancestors. Many Malagasy people believe in the spiritual presence of their ancestors, and this belief is expressed through rituals such as the Famadihana, or turning of the bones, which involves exhuming and rewrapping the bodies of deceased relatives every few years as an act of reverence. Another important cultural aspect of Madagascar is its craftsmanship, particularly in weaving and pottery. The traditional Malagasy cloth, called the lamba, is an integral part of daily life. The lamba is a versatile garment that can be worn as a dress, skirt, or head covering, and is used by both men and women. It can also serve as a carrier for babies, or as a cushion to carry heavy loads on one's head. The lamba serves as a reflection of the island's cultural resilience and adaptability. The history of Madagascar's colonization by the French is a painful chapter in the nation's history. In 1896, France formally annexed Madagascar and made it a French colony. The French sought to exploit the island's natural resources, particularly its agricultural products, and impose their culture and systems on the Malagasy people. During this period, the Malagasy people experienced harsh treatment, including forced labor and widespread repression. Resistance to French rule was not uncommon, and the island saw several uprisings, including the Madagascar Uprising of 1947, which resulted in thousands of deaths. Madagascar eventually gained its independence from France in 1960, but the scars of colonization remained. One of the ongoing issues that Madagascar faces today is its dispute with France over the îles Éparses, or the scattered islands. Despite Madagascar's sovereignty over these small islands, they remain under French control. This territorial dispute has been a source of tension for decades, as the islands are rich in marine resources, and the ongoing French control has limited Madagascar's ability to exploit these resources for its own benefit. Madagascar's development has been hindered by both its colonial history and the challenges posed by its geographical isolation. The island remains one of the poorest countries in the world, with much of its population relying on subsistence farming and fishing. The lack of modern infrastructure, including paved roads, reliable electricity, and accessible health care, has made it difficult for the country to fully capitalize on its natural resources and human potential. The lack of proper infrastructure remains a significant issue in Madagascar, particularly in rural areas. Around 89% of the country's roads are unpaved, which makes traveling within the country difficult, particularly during the rainy season when roads can turn into impassable mud rivers. This lack of infrastructure also limits access to healthcare, education, and other essential services, perpetuating the cycle of poverty in the country. The poverty rate in Madagascar is extremely high, with over 70% of the population living below the national poverty line, according to World Bank statistics. This poverty is often compounded by low literacy rates and limited access to sanitation, clean water, and health care. Despite these challenges, Madagascar's people remain resilient. Local solutions, such as hiring 4x4 vehicles to navigate rough terrain or relying on community-driven development projects, have helped the country adapt to its difficulties. Furthermore, Madagascar's growing tourism industry offers hope for economic growth. With its unique landscapes, rich culture, and diverse wildlife, the island has become an increasingly popular destination for nature lovers, adventure seekers, and cultural enthusiasts. The cuisine of Madagascar is as diverse as its people and culture, with influences from Southeast Asia, Africa, and Europe. Rice is the staple food in Madagascar, and it is served with nearly every meal. The traditional Malagasy diet is based on simple ingredients, but it is packed with flavor. One of the most iconic dishes is romazava, a stew made with meat, often beef or chicken, and mixed with local vegetables, herbs, and sometimes leafy greens such as cassava leaves. It's served with rice, the staple of the Malagasy diet. Another popular dish is ravitoto, a hearty stew made from cassava leaves, often cooked with pork. For breakfast, locals enjoy mofogasi, a sweet rice cake made from rice flour, sugar, and coconut milk, cooked in a traditional pan. For dessert, koba is a beloved treat. a sticky rice and peanut confection wrapped in banana leaves. The combination of sweet and savory flavors makes Malagasy cuisine both unique and satisfying. Madagascar is not just a land of rainforests and mountains. It is also home to some of the world's most beautiful beaches. The island's coastline is dotted with pristine beaches, crystal-clear waters, and vibrant coral reefs, making it a paradise for those seeking relaxation, diving, and marine exploration. Nosy Be, located off the northwest coast, is one of the most famous beach destinations in Madagascar. Known for its clear waters, white sand beaches, and coral reefs, Nosy Be is also a prime location for whale watching, as humpback whales migrate through its waters. Another stunning beach destination is Île Sainte-Marie, an island off the eastern coast of Madagascar. Known for its pristine beaches, lush forests, and clear waters, it is also famous for its role in the history of piracy. In the 17th and 18th centuries, pirates used the island as a base of operations, and remnants of their presence, such as pirate graves, can still be found on the island today. Despite its natural beauty and cultural richness, Madagascar is one of the poorest countries in the world, with many of its inhabitants facing significant economic challenges. As of recent estimates, over 70% of the population lives below the poverty line, and access to essential services such as healthcare, education, and clean water remains limited in many rural areas. However, the relatively low cost of living in Madagascar makes it an attractive destination for travelers seeking an affordable experience. Accommodation. Housing costs in Madagascar vary greatly depending on the region. In the capital, Antananarivo, monthly rent for a modest apartment can range from $150 to $300. In rural areas, rent is generally lower, and some visitors can find accommodation for as little as $50 per month. However, the infrastructure in rural areas is less developed, and utilities such as electricity and running water may not always be reliable. Food and dining. Food in Madagascar is quite affordable, though the cost can fluctuate depending on location and availability. Rice is the staple food and is consumed with nearly every meal. A local meal, typically consisting of rice with a meat or vegetable stew, can cost as little as $1 to $2. For those looking to eat in restaurants, a typical meal at a mid-range restaurant might cost between $1 and $2, $5 to $10. Street food is also common and affordable. Mofo gassi, a sweet rice cake, or koba, a sticky rice and peanut dessert wrapped in banana leaves, are popular snacks that can be purchased for a small price. Transportation. Public transportation is limited, and many travelers rely on taxis or private vehicles. A bus ride in Madagascar costs around 20 cents to 50 cents. Given the poor condition of most roads, especially outside major cities, travel can be slow and challenging. For those traveling across the island, it is often more practical to hire a 4x4 vehicle, which typically costs $8 per day. These vehicles are necessary to navigate the unpaved and often treacherous roads, especially during the rainy season when many roads become impassable. Healthcare and education. Healthcare in Madagascar is not widely accessible or of high quality. While there are hospitals and clinics in larger cities, rural areas lack healthcare facilities, and medical treatment can be expensive. Many Malagasy people rely on traditional medicine, passed down through generations, for ailments. The government has made strides in expanding healthcare, but it remains inadequate for the majority of the population. The cost of private healthcare is also quite high for those who can afford it, with consultations ranging from $10 to $50, which is still out of reach for many. Education is also a significant challenge in Madagascar. Although education is free and compulsory for children between the ages of 6 and 16, the quality of schooling varies significantly between urban and rural areas. Public schools are often overcrowded, and many rural schools lack basic materials such as textbooks and desks. Private schooling, which offers a higher standard of education, can cost between $100 and $500 per year, which is prohibitively expensive for most families. Madagascar's natural wonders are among its most celebrated features. The island is home to an astonishing array of endemic species, including its most famous resident, the lemur. These primates are found exclusively on Madagascar and have evolved in isolation over millions of years. The island boasts around 100 different species of lemurs, ranging from the tiny nocturnal mouse lemur to the large and majestic indri, which is known for its eerie, whale-like calls. In addition to lemurs, Madagascar is home to chameleons, the world's largest species of chameleon, Parsons chameleon, as well as numerous species of frogs, birds, and reptiles. The Avenue of the Baobabs, where rows of ancient baobab trees line a dirt road, is one of the island's most iconic sights. These trees, some of which are over 1,000 years old, have adapted to the island's dry climate and remain an enduring symbol of Madagascar's resilience. However, despite its unique biodiversity, Madagascar's ecosystems face significant threats. Deforestation, often driven by illegal logging and the expansion of agricultural land, has been a major problem. The loss of forests impacts not only the wildlife, but also the livelihoods of local communities who depend on the forests for resources. Conservation efforts, both locally and internationally, have been critical in attempting to preserve the island's natural treasures. While Madagascar is rich in natural resources, including minerals, oil, and forests, its economy remains fragile and underdeveloped. The country faces several challenges that hinder its economic growth, including political instability, lack of infrastructure, and widespread poverty. Madagascar's economy relies heavily on agriculture, with key exports including vanilla, cloves, coffee, and lychees. The island is the world's largest producer of vanilla, a crop that has become increasingly valuable in the global market. Despite these exports, Madagascar's poverty rate remains high, and the wealth generated by its natural resources does not reach the majority of the population. The island's economic challenges are compounded by political turmoil, corruption, and a lack of access to modern technology and education. In addition, Madagascar is vulnerable to climate change, with recurring cyclones, droughts, and floods exacerbating the country's struggles. Madagascar is a country of contrasts, both in terms of its natural landscapes and its complex cultural fabric. Its isolation has resulted in an incredibly unique biodiversity that is unlike anywhere else in the world. Its people, descendants of a mix of African, Asian, and Middle Eastern migrants, have created a rich cultural tapestry that reflects the island's diverse history. Despite its challenges, including economic struggles, limited infrastructure, and unresolved political issues, Madagascar remains a nation of great potential. With its breathtaking natural beauty, rich cultural traditions, and resilient people, Madagascar has the potential to become one of the world's premier ecotourism destinations. As the world becomes more conscious of the importance of preserving unique ecosystems, Madagascar's role in global conservation efforts will only become more significant. However, for the island to truly thrive, there must be continued efforts to address its internal challenges, build sustainable infrastructure, and ensure that its unique heritage is preserved for future generations. Madagascar is an island that promises adventure, mystery, and discovery. For those who venture there, it offers an experience that is unlike anywhere else on Earth. A land of ancient trees, rare creatures, and a vibrant, diverse culture that has adapted to its extraordinary environment. The island remains a living testament to the power of isolation and the beauty that can emerge from it. Thank you so much for joining us on this incredible journey through Madagascar. From the stunning beaches to the wild lemurs and fascinating culture, we hope you've been inspired to explore this magical island for yourself. But before you go, don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more amazing travel documentaries. we've got plenty more adventures to share with you. From hidden gems around the world to untold stories waiting to be explored. By subscribing, you'll be the first to know when we upload new videos. Trust me, you won't want to miss what's coming next. So, hit that bell too, so you'll never miss an adventure. We'd love to hear what you think about Madagascar. What was your favorite part of the video? Have you ever been to this incredible island? Or is it now on your travel bucket list? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Whether it's about the wildlife, the culture, or the unique traditions we explored in the documentary, we want to hear from you. Your comments mean so much to us. They not only help us know what you loved about this video, but they also give us ideas for even more exciting travel content we can create. And hey, don't keep this adventure to yourself. If you know someone who dreams of visiting Madagascar, or anyone who loves travel documentaries, share this video with them. The more people who get to experience the wonders of Madagascar, the better. Simply hit that share button, and you'll be spreading the magic of this incredible island to your friends and family. Every like, comment, and share helps us grow this community of travel lovers and explorers. It tells us that you enjoy what we're creating and motivates us to bring you even more unforgettable documentaries. So, go ahead, like, comment, share, and let's keep the conversation going. Thank you again for being a part of this journey. We can't wait to take you on the next adventure. See you in the next video.